there are, you can't throw a stone in Scotland without hitting the castle. There is a lot of history there. I mean, the one saying goes, Americans think 200 years is a long time, and the people in the UK think that 200 miles is a long way.
It's a long distance, yeah.
So there's a lot of different historical stuff. And getting back to the tours a little bit, the guided tours, you can do mini guided tours for a day or, just a few hours of your day, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some locations will have day-long or 2-day-long bus trips where, say, you start in Edinburgh or that area and head out to, like, one of the islands. Okay, like Arran. I saw a video about it. Yeah, there's a guy.
Probably Glasgow's on the left side, so.
Okay. But this guy had, I guess, or maybe there's an extension of his particular trip, but he basically did a bus tour which went out to the Isle of Arran, which was like mini Scotland. Once you got on the island, he was able to see standing stones, he was able to see a castle, he was able to visit a distillery. There's a lot of natural beauty, water courses and wildflower areas and rocks to climb. And so he had a whole concentrated experience there. And in between that, he had this bus driver who was filling them with all kinds of stories and anecdotes as they went. So it was a very rich experience. It only took a day and a half to do. So that's one thing you can do. What kind of experiences you want are going to really dictate the kind of activities you engage in. If you stay in Edinburgh, for instance, there will be walking tours where there's something for everybody. There's basically
ghost tours.
Yeah,
there's
ghost tours.
Hiking.
There's a Harry Potter themed tour apparently. I don't know how that works exactly. No,
you get a broomstick with a Segway shaped like a broomstick, and you play Quidditch.
Yeah, I think it's because there are parts of the movies that I guess were filmed out there. So,
right.
And of course the train. But so there's all kind of themed tours in Edinburgh, which is the huge attraction urbanly and a huge tourist attraction. So they're trying to accommodate you as a tourist. You are a big part of the economy. If you go out of Edinburgh, different historic sites will often have audio tours, which is another self-paced thing you can do, which is really cool. And if you're going to visit historic sites, there's a lot to choose from. There's over 2,000 castles in Scotland.
Really?
Yes, over 2,000.
Where did you get that data from? Just curious.
I was just looking at articles this morning.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, the definition of a castle is going to vary. Yeah. Some of them are medieval fortresses. Some of them are palatial estates from the 18th, 19th century. Some of them are ruins. Like, there'll be a pile of rock, and it's like, oh, that's your clan seat. Congratulations. That's all that's left.
Are any of them small Disney princess castles? Those were not counted.
Well, that's on a different tour.
Fair enough. Okay.
Like the Leprechaun Museum in Dublin. There's something for everybody. There's popular. Let's see, where are some of the real big bucket list?
Stirling Castle.
Stirling Castle. Yep.
Urquhart Castle right on Loch Ness is a really nice one.
Right.
Edinburgh Castle, obviously.
Yep.
The Eileen Dunnan Castle.
Most photographed castle in the world, perhaps.
Yep. It's the one with the bridge that leads right over the water to it.
Yeah, you've seen it in movies like in Highlander, in the opening scenes of Highlander, where they're marching across the bridge. That's that castle.
What's the one? Kelly's gonna kill me. It's the one that is the Stewart of Appin seat that they lost to the Campbells on a bet. It was the castle that was Castle Arg from Monty Python.
Oh, right.
Castle Stalker.
There you go. Stalker Castle. Yes. Yep. I'll edit that so you sound like you knew exactly which one you're referring to.
Sure, absolutely.
There's Rosslyn Chapel.
Yep.
Yep. Very much would like to see that. There's finding your own clan's seat, like I think we both alluded to, basically, can be a very popular destination for a lot of Americans. Is hunting down where they came from, where they were.
Yeah. There's also we'll touch on Ireland a little bit.
Sure.
There's Cliffs of Moher.
Yep.
There's the islands off the left coast of Ireland, or off the west coast of Ireland. Mm-hmm. There's Giant's Causeway.
Yep.
There's the Ring of Kerry. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff.
Mound of Terror.
Yep.
I've always wanted to see that.
Yep. There's a lot of really cool stuff in both the UK and Ireland.
Mm-hmm. I think what it comes down to is it's going to be hard to choose.
Yeah.
There will be more to see there than you have time for, and it's good to kind of mentally accept that. The more you try to cram into your trip, the more you're going to feel like you didn't get more than just a quick snapshot of any one thing you were doing. So don't overpack the trip. Try to prioritize what are the most important things you want to see, so that you feel like you've invested the proper amount of time in them. And also, if you go someplace and it turns out it's not all it was cracked up to be, like if you decide to go see the Kelpie statue, with the giant horses.
Yep.
Some people go to that and they think, wow, this is an incredibly cool piece of modern art. This is amazing. This is beautiful. Other people go there and they see a big
waste of metal.
Yeah, big pile of scrap iron. So I think it's cool, but
yeah.
I don't. But with all the other choices I would have going, that's not one of the things I'd want to see. Personally, doesn't really appeal to me in that sense. If it was on my way somewhere, I would certainly stop off and take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
But it's kind of like an interesting point in the landscape, not a destination for me.
Yeah, it's a half-hour stop, not a full-day explore the Kelpies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing to think about also is basically when you go to a destination, a lot of them you will be able to explore kind of on your own, which warrants you that you be respectful of the space. Don't do anything stupid while you're there, and don't abuse your...
Carve your name in the wall.
Yeah, like my ancestors did. Sven was here. No, but seriously, there'll be a lot of times where you can basically explore at your own pace, and there really isn't the restrictions on touching things or exploring the site. At the same time, there will be some sites that have the opposite, where there's so many people, like Edinburgh Castle. There's so many people visiting that you have to expect to stand in line. You have to expect to be, guided like sheep through different areas because they have to control the crowds. So,
yeah, and I will say this: it's different than over there for the most part than it is here. And the one thing that kind of struck me was when we went to Stirling Castle, you just okay, here's your ticket, just go explore.
Yeah, have fun, kids.
You run around and you can literally touch anything for the most part.
Yeah.
We went to there's not a ton of like roped off areas and that kind of things.
Yeah.
Now that being said, when we were in England, the one I forget where we were. It was somewhere, again, Kelly's going to kill me. It was somewhere she really, really wanted to go. She's the history nut. And we were in some queen's, summer home or something. I don't know.
Okay.
And it was off season. It was January.
Okay.
And we went, and there was literally one other couple on the guided tour. And they actually said, we talked to the docent, and he was just like, hey, Kelly was asking him questions.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, hey, you seem really interested in this stuff. She's like, yeah, I love all of it. I love seeing the clothes. I love the history. I love seeing the tapestries and the paintings. And he was like, well, the area over here is being refurbished, but follow me. So he took us up back staircases and things like that to get to areas where you couldn't otherwise see, and showed us really, really cool stuff you couldn't otherwise see.
Yep.
So just that angle of it, getting to talk to somebody and kind of, if you express interest, as you've said before, if you express interest in what they're doing and what they're expressing interest in, they may kind of show you some cool stuff that you wouldn't get to see otherwise.
Yeah, it's basically just like we'll always say, talk to the locals and get the locals' feed on things. That applies to the guy who's checking you in at the hotel, to the person that you meet in the grocery store, to the docents. Some friendliness and some respect, and you will find them very friendly people. They're incredibly friendly, very gregarious people. Can get you a lot of cool little advantages. My wife, when we were in London, she's a textile nerd, serious textile nerd. We spent not 1 but 2 days at the Victoria Albert Museum, and part of the result of that was that she got to talk to a couple of docents and then one of the curators. And they said, if you come back tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we'll let you into this collections room and let you see this collection. And she got to basically handle these pieces of fabric and stuff, these extant samples of embroidery and things, because she'd been nice to people. And they recognized that she was, as we always say, a sincere student of the culture. It goes a long way. It really does. Yeah.